Uh, in the previous class, we have seen what is an important or the need of protected water supply, and then we have seen what is an water demand, right? What is a water demand that we have studied in the previous class, and what are the different types of water demand, and then we have seen what are the factors affecting the water demand. And also, we have seen one formula on fire demand, that what is fire demand and how to calculate the water that is to be required in case of the fire accidents. This is what we have studied in the previous class. Can anybody tell me what is the water demand? What is water demand? Can anybody tell me? Can anybody tell me what is water demand? Yes,
Water is required per person.
in a single day, right? In a single day, that has to be specified. The amount of water required by a person in a single day, or how much quantity of water per person per day he or she requires, that is nothing but we call it as a water demand. Can anybody tell me what are the different types of water demand? What are the different
Domestic
types of?
communication.
Yes,
Industrial,
Domestic,
industrial,
domestic
Domestic water demand,
Domestic demand,
industrial water demand,
industrial,
fire,
fire demand.
fire demand,
good.
institution and commercial
residential,
demand,
Okay,
waste,
what is
demand
the
for
per cap?
public.
Okay, fine. What is the per capita demand according to the Indian standard conditions? How much quantity of amount of water is required by per person per day
35,
according to the how much?
135
30,
liter per day.
30.
Yes,
135
135
liters.
liters per
liters
capita
per day.
per day. Very good, very good, very good. Okay. Then we'll study. We have seen what are the different factors that are affecting the per capita demand. What are the different factors that is going to
Ra-
affect?
Climate,
Rainfall,
conditions,
Okay,
climate
weather
climatic
conditions,
and
conditions,
okay,
size of the city, size of the city,
okay,
living size of
okay,
community,
okay. Very good,
standard of living,
very good.
cost of water,
Okay, very good. Okay, these are the different factors.
intermittency,
Now, okay, 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 fine. In the previous class, we have discussed something on fire demand, right? In the previous class, something we have discussed on fire demand, right? So
yes sir.
today we are going to solve one problem on how much quantity of water that is to be required, right? That has to be required in case of fire accidents. We have seen in the previous class what is Kuchling's formula. We have seen what is Buston's formula, and we have seen Freeman's formula. Then we have seen National Board of Fire Underwriters formula. So we are going to solve the problem in today's class by using these different kind of formulas, right? How much quantity of water we require in case of fire accidents. Is it clear? Okay. So let us solve now one problem on how much quantity of water we require in case of fire demand, that we are going to see. So in the previous class, we have seen all these formulas, right? You need to remember these formulas, right? Now, here we are going to solve a problem straight away. Compute the fire demand for a city having a population of 140 lakhs using various formulas, right? Now, in this problem, what they have given is they have given you the population, right? And they have asked you to determine the water requirement according to the different formulas. That is what they have asked you. Okay. Now, compute the fire demand for a city having a population of 1,40,000 using the various formulas. Now, P is nothing but the population in thousands. All these formulas is going to have the common thing, that is P, right? They have common thing. All the formulas are having this common, right? Common notation P. Okay, here it is P, here it is P, right? Here there is a P. Okay, here it is P. Now, what is this P? This P is nothing but the population in thousand. Now, here they have given 1,40,000. So, if you convert this 1,40,000 into thousands, how we are going to convert? 1,40,000 into thousands, I need to convert 140,000s. Okay. So, if I divide by 1,40,000 divided by 1,000, I will get population in thousand. So, it is how many thousands? 1,40,000 means how many thousands are there? Yes, reply.
140.
140.
140. Is this 140? Is it clear? 1,40,000 means 140,000. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
To
sir.
all? Yes, to all. Is it clear?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Fine. Okay. Now we will see. First, we are going to solve the problem by using Kuchling's formula. Now, Kuchling's formula, what it says is Q is equal to the quantity. Q is nothing but the quantity of water required by per person. Okay, or the quantity of water required. Now, it is 3182 square root P. 3182 square root P. Now, here we have written 3182 as it is. Now, P we have written, we have not taken 1,40,000, we have taken it as a 140 because in a problem they have told already the population will be in thousands. So we have added here 140. So if we multiply 3182 square root P, okay, if we multiply it, we are going to get it as 37650 liters per minute. Okay, we are going to get it as 37650 liters per minute. Now, even if you keep this, no problem, but we want in Qmax. We want in Qmax. Now, 1 meter cube is equal to 1000 liters. If we want to convert in meter cube per second, Qmax is nothing but meter cube per second. If you want to convert it, we already know that 1 meter cube is equal to 1000 liters. We already know that we want to convert this liter into meter cube. So 1 meter cube is equal to 1000 liters. So we divide this by 1000. Okay, we divide this by 1000 and we are going to get it as 37.65 meter cube per minute. Now we have converted into meter cube per minute, but we want it as into second. 1 minute is going to have 60 seconds, right? So 37.65 divided by 60, we are going to get it as 0.6275 meter cube per second. Okay, so it is 0.6275 Qmax. Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll repeat it once again. Population P is in thousands is 140. Okay, so if we directly multiply it, we are going to get 37,650 liters per minute. Now, 1 meter cube is equal to 1000 liters. So, if we divided it by 1000, 37650, if we divided it by 1000, we are going to get it in terms of meter cube per minute. 1 minute is going to have 60 seconds. So, we are going to get 0.6275 meter cube per second. And then we will be getting it as 0.6275 Qmax. Okay, I hope it is clear. Then we will be going to see Burston's formula. Now, Burston's formula, according to the Burston's formula, the quantity of water required in case of fire accidents, we will get it as Q is equal to 5663 square root P. Okay, now again P is 140. Then we are going to get it as 67,000 liters per minute, right? Divided it by 1000. Y is 1 meter cube is equal to 1000 liters. Okay, so divided it by 1000, we are going to get it as 67 meter cube per minute. And per minute, we are converting into 60 seconds. Per minute, 1 minute is going to have 60 seconds. So we are going to convert it into the seconds. We are going to get it as 1.117 Qmax. We are going to get it as 1.117 Qmax. Okay, next. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Next
Yes,
is, we are going to see Freeman's formula, right? We are going to calculate the amount quantity of water required according to the Freeman's formula. So it is Q is equal to 1136 divided by into P divided by 5 plus 10. So we are going to get it as, right? If we divide it, if we simplify it, we are going to get it as 43168 liters per minute. If we divided it again, we are going to convert liter into meter cube. So we are going to get it as 43.168 meter cube per minute. So 0.719 Qmax, we are going to get it as. Okay. Then we are calculating the formula by using, right? We are going to calculate the formula using the National Free Fire Board Underwriters National Board of Fire Underwriters formula. There we are going to use the formula Q is equal to 4637 square root P into the bracket 1 minus 0.01 square root P. So we are going to get it as 48,374 liters per minute, right? If we divided it by 1000, we are going to get it as, because we want to convert liters into meter cube. So we are going to get it as 48.37 meter cube per minute. Then minute to seconds, 1 minute is going to have 60 seconds. So we are going to get it as 0.806 cubics. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, fine. So you need to remember one thing in all these problems is this P, they are expecting in population in 1000. So might be if it is 2 lakh, then divided it by 1000, might be 10 lakh divided it by 1000, whatever the number they are going to give, right? Then you divided it according into the thousands. If it is in, say, lakh per, if they directly give 140,000, then you need not to convert it, because 140,000 they have directly given population in 1000. If they give in terms of lakhs, crores, you need to divide it by thousands. So this is how we can solve the problem by using the fire demand. That we can calculate by using these different formulas. 4 formulas we are going to use it. You need to remember all these formulas in order to calculate it. Okay. Now we will be seeing now the different thing, or the population forecasting. We will see what is population forecasting. Right? Now, as of now, we are going to see what is population forecasting. Okay. Now, prior to, or we will see first the population forecasting itself. Right. Now, what do you mean by population forecasting? I think you know what is forecasting. You know what is forecasting? What is forecasting? Weather forecasting and all you have studied. What do you mean by forecasting? Weather forecasting. You daily watch all these things in news. What do you mean by forecasting? Yes, what is forecasting? Forecasting
Climatic
is
conditions.
no. Forecasting is nothing but just predicting, right? Forecasting is nothing but predicting. Weather forecast. You get weather forecast daily in the news channels, right? So they forecast or they predict what is going to be happen within 24 hours, within 48 hours. They are going to predict it. So similarly, in order to have this say design a water system or a water treatment plant, we are not going to design it according to the present population. We will be designing it according to the future population, because whatever we are going to make the system, see, if we design it for present population condition, right? Now you know that the population is increasing, right? If we design it for the present population, say it might be whatever the system we design, it might be it is sufficient for 1 year or 2 years, but the population after 5 years or after 10 years, after 15 or 20 or 25 or 30 years, it will not be the same as on today's date. It will be not same as on today's date. The population will be continuously, it is going to change, right? The population continuously, it is going to change. So if whatever we are going to design it, whatever the water supply system, whatever we are going to design it, we will not going to design it for the present population. We need to design it for the future population, because if we design it for present population, right, then the future population, if the population is increasing, then whatever the design, whatever the treatment system or whatever the treatment unit, what we are going to design, it will not be sufficient for the future population. Then again, in order to design that, again we will be investing, again the new construction, again new change, new pipes, new treatment plant. So whenever we are going to design, again it requires a huge quantity of investment. So whenever we are going to design, right, we design the water supply system keeping in mind of the future population. We should not design it for the present population. We should at least design for 20 to 30 years of the future population whenever we need to design it. So if we are we want to design the for the future population, then we should know how to predict the future population. So that is the reason why we will be using these different formulas or the different the methods in order to calculate the population forecast. We will be using the different formulas in order to calculate the population forecast. In the population forecasting is nothing but we are going to predict how much is will be the increase in population after so many, after say 5 years, after 10 years, after 15, after 10, 20, or whatever the year you want. Even you can predict after 100 years, right, how much quantity of the population is going to be get increased. That is what we are going to study in population forecasting. Now the population forecasting is also dependent on, say, number of birth, number of death, right, how much is the migration that is going to happen. It all depends on all these factors. So population forecasting is dependent on birth, deaths, and the migration that is going to occur in the all the places. So it is completely dependent on that. So number of births, as we are going to have the advancement in our treatment things, right, as advancement is going on, the number of birth, right, number of birth and the lifespan of a person is going to increase, or we are going to have the different say medications. By that we are increasing the lifespan of a person. So number of births are more as compared to the number of deaths. Okay, so here again this is also one of the reasons why the population is increasing continuously. And again, for the livelihood, the people are going to migrate from one place to the another place. So there is due to the migration also the population is going to change. So that is also one of the reason why we need to predict the population forecasting. Just a minute. Okay, is it clear? Is it clear? What is population forecasting? Yes, what is population forecasting? No replies? Are you understanding? What is population forecasting? What is population forecasting? Abu Bakar?
Reference.
It is what? What it is?
Designing according to future.
It is nothing but it is the predicting how much will be the increase in population after, say, some amount of time, say after 10 years, after 15 years, how much will be the population increase, right? That we are going to predict by population forecasting. So population forecasting is also dependent on the different types of aspects, that is the birth, death, and the migration. So the different methods by which we are going to calculate the population forecasting, and also the population forecasting is also dependent on the various factors such as, say, the economic factor, right? Then the developmental program, right? Social facilities, communication, the links, then your tourism, community life, right? And you have unforeseen factors, right? Now, economic factor. Now, wherever we can see, right, as compared to the villages, normally the cities will be having more population than the villages. The reason is more employment opportunities, more the industries, right? more or whatever due to the more employment opportunities, right? The people want to increase their economic background strong, so they want to have the economically they want to be strong. So wherever there is an possibility of the increasing the income, right, or wherever the economy is strong, there will be we will normally find the more the population. So the cities we will normally have the more population than the villages. Okay. Then next is developmental programs. Wherever there is a developmental program such as say the river valleys, construction of roads, all these things, wherever the development programs are there, there normally we are going to get to see the more amount of population. Then the social facilities, like say wherever there is a good amount of education system, medical facilities, recreational things, wherever it is there we are going to find out the more population. Next is the communication links, right? And the wherever there is a good contact is there between, in order to connect the two cities or in order to connect the two places, right, there we will be having usually the more population. Next is the tourism, right? Good tourism, wherever we are going to have, there will be more the population will be there. Then community life, wherever we are going to have the social education, all those things, wherever we are going to have the good connectivity and all, there we are going to get the good say a good population. Then for unforeseen scene or factors, that is wherever there is an earthquake or the floods or epidemic, frequent frequent this thing are there again. Now for example, now the perfect condition is due to the pandemic condition. Due to the pandemic condition, what is happening, the people are moving from one place to the other place, since there are no developmental works are going on. They will be the labor class or other people, software people, right, work from home, all these things. What they are going to do, they are going to they are allowing to migrate the people from one place to the other place. All these are nothing but the different factors that is allowing the people to move from one place to the another place. Now we will also see, right, we will also see what are the different methods in order to calculate the increase in population. We'll see what are the different factors which is going to increase the different factors which are going to help us to find out the population forecast. Now we are going to have the different methods. One is arithmetic increase method, geometrical increase method, incremental increase method, simple graph method, decrease growth rate method, comparative graph method, and master plan method. By this, we are going to design the different we are, by all these methods, we are going to find out the different methods for increase in population. So first one, we call it as an arithmetic increase method. So arithmetic increase method, here in this particular method, this method is based on the assumption that the population is increasing at a constant rate, right? Here, what it assumes that the arithmetic increase method, see all these formulas, all these formulas is going to become very, very important, right? It is going to be very, very important in order to solve the problems. So you need to remember all these problems when you want to solve the problems in order to find out the arithmetic, your population forecasting. So first formula that we are going to use is the arithmetic increase method. In the arithmetic increase method, arithmetic increase method is one of the most simple method in order to find out the population forecasting. Okay, it generally gives lower results in this method. The increase in population from decades to decade. See here in the population forecasting, what we are going to do is we are going to calculate the population increase in the form of decade. Decade means 10 years. We are going to calculate in the form of 10 years. Right, 1940, how much was the population? 50, how much is the increase in population? 60, how much is the population? With having the 1940 to 1970, we can predict the any number years of decades if we want to calculate, right? Here we have found out till 1970, we have these data. From this 1970 data, I can find out the 2050, how much will be the population. So this is the advantage of having the population forecasting. If we are having 3 or 4 consecutive decades data, we can find out the future population. We can find out the future population. Okay. Now we will see what is an arithmetic method we are going to get. Okay. In this method, the increase in population from decade to decade is assumed to be constant. In this method, we are going to assume the increase in population is going to increase by at a constant rate from decade to decade. Okay. Now, from the census data of past 3 to 4 decades, the increase in population is going to be find out by using the formulas. By using the different formulas, we are going to find out the different. We are going to find out the future population. So, in this method, according to the arithmetic method, we will be finding the population by using the formula Pn is equal to P plus N into C, right? Pn is equal to P plus N into C, or we may use the notation, I. Instead of C, we can use I also, right? Here, Pn is equal to P plus N into I, or P into I. Pn is equal to P plus N into I or C. Now, what is P here? P is nothing but the present population. P is nothing but it is present population. Then C is nothing but, right, the constant determined by the average of increase in population. We are calling it as N by C is nothing but the constant determined by the average of population. Okay, so here we are going to find it out. The N is the average, how by what amount the population has increased. This is what the N stands for, right? By C stands for. This is what the C is. C is nothing but the constant determined by the average of the increase of population in N decades. N is nothing but the number of decades. N is nothing but the number of decades. Okay, so we are going to use the formula Pn is equal to P plus N into C. P is the present population, N is number of decades, C is what is the average increase in population. C is average increase in population or the constant, and N is after how many years we want the population. After how many years from the known decade we want the population. See here, P your P is nothing but the present population, right? P is nothing but your present population, that is a population at 1970 is your present population, P, right? Here P is your present population, and N is after how many decades, right? After 1 decade. Now 1970 is your present population, right? After 1 decade. If I say after 1 decade I want the population, then it will be 1980. If I want after 2 decades, then it will be 1990. If I call after 3 decades, then it will be, I will be calling it as after 3 decades. So N will be 3. Now average C will be 4833. So how to calculate the average and all, we are going to see exactly by, I will solve all this problem in a paper, right? It is present in a notes. I will solve it in a paper. I will write it and will see what is say how we need to solve all these problem in detail in the next class, right? As of now, you should remember what is arithmetic method. Arithmetic method, here we assume that the increase in population will be at a constant rate per decade, right? All these methods are going to tell you the increase in population decade wise. Okay, they are going to tell you the increase in population decade wise. That is, 1 decade is nothing but the 10 years. In 10 years, how much will be the increase in population that you are going to study. So tomorrow's class, we are going to discuss regarding the arithmetic increase method and the geometrical increase method. In detail, I will be writing these problems, right? As today I have done in a scanned copy scan copy I will be having of the written solved problems. I will be doing it on a say paper which is going to be scanned and it is going to be presented to you, right? If I see in the all these notes, it is not understood to you. So what I will do is I will write it in a paper and I will be presenting it. Okay. Is it understood what is population forecasting? Yes. Is it clear to you all what is population forecasting?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any doubt? Do you
No,
have
sir.
any doubt?
Sir.
No, sir.
No.
No, sir.
Okay. If you are having any kind of a doubt, you let me ask. Is the method of presentation is okay? Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. We are going to solve the problem in tomorrow's class. We will end the session over here at this particular point. If you are getting any kind of a doubt, right, you need to ask me. And from tomorrow, right, we are going to solve, I think, around for 3 days, we are going to solve the problem, right? I want all of you to be present in the further classes. If you miss the classes, you won't understand the concepts, right? I want all of you to be present from tomorrow. All the classes you should be present. Okay, we will stop the session over here. If you are having